tour, and a new guest. So let's get to it. So what do you think? New intro?
Oh, yeah, that's pimp. I like it.
So today we have someone who is super popular in the community, does a lot for the community, does a lot for the schools, also is an entrepreneur, business owner locally, and so we want to welcome Kaleigha Fitch to the show, if I can find her button, which is right there.
Hello.
Hello.
Thanks for having me, guys.
You're welcome.
This
Thanks for coming.
This is exciting. You know, you guys get to the badge of honor because this is the closest podcast I've done. So I'm excited. This is like basically in my backyard because we're basically neighbors.
Basically neighbors.
Yep.
And this technically might actually be probably the... I flipped it. There it is. Probably the worst produced ever.
No.
So, but you know, we're trying to figure it all out. There's lots of buttons and switches and
Technology-wise, you're already
Thingies.
well advanced over me. I still use paper and pen at work, like for everything. I have to check mark.
see, I got that behind me because I do notes.
Yes.
Because everybody has told me I still mess with these too.
It just, I mean, one of them things.
What's up with yours? You done got it all.
Dude, I got the, man.
Maybe, all right, maybe we'll hear you. This
You know,
time.
it's like
what
it's
I'm
like
saying.
Ricky Bobby. Like that's what they always make fun of me when I do Zoom calls and stuff with work because they're like, put your hands down because I have to do something with my hands
Yeah.
all the time.
Leanna's the same way.
It's like
she,
you just
she can't.
Oh.
If you make her sit on her hands, she can't talk
yes,
at all.
like and you can tell like when I've been super busy at work because like this side of my hair is so poofy. Like I had to recurl my hair before we came. Like I was literally sitting there. Just curl my hair, and one of the boys walked in and they were like, "Why are you curling your hair?" I'm like, "Because this side is so fuzzy. Because all I've done today is touch my hair. Just because you gotta have something to do with your hands."
You just twirl.
Nope.
So, one of the main things that I want to try to accomplish with Fancies, Unfiltered. Fancies just started as a place to drink and smoke cigars, but now it's become this. But one of the things that drove me to want to do this was getting to know people on a more personal level.
Mm-hmm.
Because we don't do that any longer.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the neighbor. Luckily, you can't hear it in the thing because I went back yesterday, but it still freaks me out. Anyway, so I'm at this stage where things need to be tweaked in life and go figure some things out. And I know that you have recently figured some things out, and that was one of the things that you talked about when you went to, was it Texas?
Texas. Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so I guess one of the things that I'm most passionate about at the moment in my life is, since I'm in the middle of having one of those myself, talking to other people who've already had those moments and have figured out what their purpose is or what they feel like they were called to do, and then how they twisted that into being successful. And I know that you've are all up in the middle of that. So.
Yeah. I thought you were going to ask me to talk about insurance the whole time we were. I'm just kidding. I don't even really talk about insurance on the insurance podcast because, I mean, who wants to talk about insurance? It's boring.
No, I do have some legitimate questions about insurance, like, but yeah, no.
We'll save that for later, for sure.
No, this is an unfiltered podcast where we can say bad words and have bourbons, but hang on, I get sidetracked all the time. So yeah, no, it's kind of an open thing.
Yeah.
Real quick sidetrack before you get going. Do you know that all of our TikToks that I put out get flagged and banned, not banned, but removed from the For You ability? Because if any of the little shorts that I put out that has a cigar or me having a beverage, it flags it and it kicks it off. But you know all the other stuff that shows up on your For You page?
Yeah, for sure.
And my little glass.
There's got to be ways around it, because I see people on my For You page that they might just be making that shit up, man.
You know, during the mullet championship, I got banned from TikTok for like 3 months because I posted pictures of Ezra without his shirt on with fireworks, and they were like, "You're exploiting children." And
I remember you talking
yes,
about that.
you're exploiting children and you're giving them weapons. And I was like,
the FBI will be at your house in
this
3 days.
is Bayleton, Alabama. Like,
Yeah, but then
everybody's naked with fireworks out there. Like, what the heck?
Guns. Yeah, it happens.
Yeah, the amount of stuff that I saw when I'm recently just now getting back into the TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
I had quit, but right before, the amount of crap that you see, like those trends, and everybody would get behind them, and then it would be like they'd have a little nip slip or whatever. And that was.
I thought I took that video down, but okay.
I saved it and replay it.
Well, it's like even clips from shows like Euphoria. Like, I don't know if y'all have ever watched that, but it's like super vulgar. And I'm like, bro, like those clips will come up. Like, what's the difference? And I mean, that's way worse than Hammy with some bottle rockets and a mullet. Like, I mean, I don't know. It's weird.
Whisker do's, whisker don'ts.
God, but I do. I get on TikTok and Jamie deleted TikTok not long ago because he would go down the endless rabbit holes of everything. And, you know, I'm going to tell y'all, we're so bad obsessive with stuff. We're on the P. Diddy stuff right now. Bro, that's all. We look at it like so many times a day. And I'm like, this is psychotic.
So we got sidetracked. This is why we don't, it may seem like we don't know what we're doing. Like I have in this thing back here, I had a whole plan. Mm-hmm. And to prove it, you were going to be the first one that we actually start having segments where we don't just sit here and bullshit the whole time. That we bullshit, but we have like a couple of set things that we're going to bullshit about each time.
Yeah.
And start doing so. I thought maybe we would have like dumb shit in the news or something and talk about. And I was going to get you to talk about P. Diddy. So here you go. See, I got it all figured out, except for the buttons to push.
Yeah.
They keep moving. I promise y'all, they keep moving.
I
There
bet
it is.
for sure. I know they're moving.
Well, and
It would make too much sense just for them to just stay there,
if
push it, not have to worry about it.
if this is not in the shot right here,
It's not.
the next one of these we do, this bad boy will be alien taped to the wall right here.
There you go.
It's just lined with duct tape around it. Just the screen's open and the home button, you know.
So anyway, yes, P. Diddy.
P. Diddy.
We'll do that first, and then we'll go back to you.
Sounds good. So have you obviously you guys don't live under a rock, you know, but I'm going to be straight up with y'all. I can be, you know, and this is, I want to preface with this, you know, we talk about this is, you know, people get to know the authentic you and know these things, like, because we'll get into all that in just a minute, but I'm weird. Like, a lot of people they don't realize, like Jamie knows that, because he's weird too, but a lot of people don't know that we're weird. Like, and we do weird things, and like we do, and like one of the things is like we're both low key kind of conspiracy theorists about things, and like I'm telling y'all, I went on this rant the other night, and I was like, I have figured the world out. There's not an Illuminati. It is this P. Diddy stuff. I'm telling you that they're running everything.
So
they're running it all.
So you're rolling P. Diddy in with
I'm rolling
the conspiracies.
with Jay-Z, with I'm gonna say who what's his Jeffrey Epstein. I feel like it's all the same. Instead of it being like Illuminati, I feel like it's this weird
Hang on.
control.
Oh shit, we got a segment for that too.
Oh my God, I'm just calling it out tonight. This is conspiracy theories.
Oh, the Bigfoot, yeah. Oh, did you?
What a flex.
Paranoia. Fucking call me out, man.
Yeah. So I thought
Schizophrenic.
so I thought from now on with each guest, because that was our biggest show so far,
Yeah.
was the conspiracy theories. And as I continue to talk to more people, there's more and more that are like us, that are not like swinging from the rooftop conspiracy theorists, but
We got
We're
our
just a little weird.
but we are inquisitive.
yeah. Yeah.
And so I thought from now on, every guest that we have, we'll have a little segment where we'll work this in, and then we'll take, or I'll take, all the theories, and the ones that come up the most. Then I'll do like a deep dive and do some research.
Yeah.
I like it that I've called out 2 of your plans.
Hey, I have no other graphics, so you're free to go.
That's hilarious. But yeah. But yeah. Okay, so our conspiracy theory.
Yes.
Nick's Illuminati. I feel like that was. I think it's a thing, but I don't think it is a thing. If that makes sense, it's a thing, but it's not.
It's not the thing
It's
that they
a
say
yes,
it is.
It's not the thing. I feel like in my mind, this is where we're going. This is gonna be weird, but it is what it is. I feel like there's a we have the dark web, we have all that stuff. There's a dark web situation. It's like a dark world situation.
Yeah.
That you got these people we don't even know who they are, like the elite people, and I feel like they hand choose people like P Diddy and Jay-Z and Nick Saban. I'm throwing him in there because I don't like him.
The unknown Illuminati master.
And people like that are like, they want you to idolize these people, and they want you to look up to them, and they want you to see, like, whatever. Taylor Swift is one. Her music sucks. Throw that out there.
Taylor Swift is dangerous.
All these
agree on
people with
that.
all this control, and I feel like that they're trying to make all these things that are bad normal, normalizing it. And I think that now it's like people are overtaking it. Like, I feel like we're all like, this is bullshit, and
People are getting tired of it. And they're like,
So
we're gonna do that.
I do feel like, one, I agree wholeheartedly everything that you just said. One of our episodes, I said I don't at this point believe anything that anybody says, and I feel like there's somebody or something behind everything that happens that's big and in the news.
oh yeah,
So pretty much the exact same thing.
Well, I mean, just all the stuff that's coming out about the whole P Diddy thing in general. I mean, every day it's new, and it's not like, oh, we heard this. They're like, hey,
And I want to know how Hulu and Netflix have specials ready to go.
oh my god, we've already watched them.
I know.
Have you watched them?
No.
on the P Diddy thing.
We stayed up for the
already?
night and watched. Yes,
exactly.
bro.
That's
yes.
what I'm saying.
I'm a dude. You know me, man. I'm a workaholic.
Bro, they had his bookie and his dealer.
I just saw it the other day. I hadn't watched it.
Oh, I watched it. They had his bookie and his dealer on there named. And I'm like, y'all know all about it. Like, Mans is over here sitting in solitary confinement, and you've already outed his dealer and everything on Tubi to just show us all. So,
I'll tell you everything I know.
I mean,
See,
and that's what
I
you
just,
got.
yeah, I don't.
I mean, you gotta look at you gotta look inside and outside the box and eventually say, okay, if it looks like shit and smells like shit, it's probably shit.
It might not be.
Well, I don't want to know what it is then.
it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, all this stuff. But I mean, like, just like I said, the things they're coming out with, that he done this, that so, and they're talking about the list now. That they're like, it's like they're also on a news clip on probably TikTok or something today, during some point at work, that was talking about they had this press conference
I was getting
of
paid.
yeah, I mean it's on break time, but that they were having this press conference on the news about saying that we're about to reveal this list of these very popular people you would never expect that have significantly, something to do with this.
I feel like all the people they've released have not been shocking to me, though. Because I feel like I've always thought they were sus. Like, you can't tell me that Taylor Swift is not doing some shady shit somewhere.
Yeah.
Like, she is too much, and I'm telling y'all, it's weird. It's just something strange and all that. And that's kind of what, like, just thinking about all the people that are involved in it, too, and you think of, like, people like Elon Musk. Like, he has gone against it. Like, he's like, no more, I'm not going to be a part of this.
I was going to say, so are you a Musk fan or no?
I like him.
Okay.
I mean,
Carry on. I
he-
just make sure. I was going to say, I was going to start by saying, one, I didn't know you was Auburn. So that tells me that you scared and you ashamed, and
Hey,
that's fine.
As
That's
long
fine.
as they ain't playing each other, I'll
that's
root
fine.
for them
That's
too.
fine.
I'm not that big into football.
I really don't
but
care.
If they
I
play each other. Hey!
I will never root for Alabama.
Ever. I don't care. I just didn't know. And then we don't ever get to hang out, so I didn't know. And I was like, wow, I'm in a room with 3 Auburn fans that I actually like at the same time, and that's pretty cool.
Say we're cool people.
I know some of you.
You gotta be cool dealing with a team like that, man. It's a love-hate relationship.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we're
And
very
so-
trustworthy and loyal. I mean, we have this.
And so then you was starting to say something about Elon, and I was like, wait a minute, now
Yeah.
you already started knocking on Saban in Alabama. Don't be
I like-
hating on Elon.
I like
'cause kinda
Elon.
like him.
I feel like he is not a part of the machine. You know, I don't
I
obviously.
think he is a machine.
I think he is. Yeah, for real. I think Mark Zuckerberg is too.
Yeah, but see, and one's a good machine, and one's a
Yes.
toaster that needs to just
Yes. Yeah, not
Yeah.
the brave little toaster.
no.
He's the sus little toaster.
Yeah.
But yeah, and you go like you think about like Elon Musk and how he's backing like Donald Trump and like all these things. And that was another thing is during all this P Diddy stuff, is they were bringing up pictures of him with like political people, and one was like Donald Trump was one of them, and that was one of the things to me is I'm like, okay, that's fine that you're bringing him up, but he was the it guy. You know, back in the 90s and the 80s, like everybody wanted to be seen with him because he was a young billionaire, whatever.
Yeah.
And then they're trying to bulk him up with partying with like P. Diddy and all these.
Dude, it was
weird
Trump.
people.
Trump partied with everybody.
Yeah, and he went, I don't know. He did, but you were
And
cool.
everybody liked him.
Oh, yeah, until he was like, nope, I'm not part of your machine anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so obviously you guys are probably not on sorority talk, rush talk, where you go watch the girls rush during TikTok. I would.
You know, I canceled that subscription when I recently making some changes.
So on there, one of the things I found interesting is they talk about the machines of the colleges. So like Alabama is the one that they show on Rush the most, and they have what they call as the machine, and it's this underground people that you will never meet that control the elite who choose who get to do all the things in the colleges. So like you're already pre-chosen to be in the sororities and the fraternities. You're already pre-chosen to be on the football team and to do all these different things, and you'll never know. So going back to wrapping all of our stuff up is who is America's machine? Because if you think about it, you used to think like Jimmy Hoffa. You thought like the Kennedys were involved in some shit. We know that they were, but like who is it? Who is it?
I don't know who it is,
don't
but if I
know.
find them, I'm taking one of them old Razor scooters straight to their shin as many times as I can. Because they shorted me on some money and good looks and everything else.
So I don't necessarily think that it's one,
No, it's an entity of people.
and I truly think that it's probably just like anything else, where there's this group over here that is responsible for this kind of crap, and that they don't necessarily all know what each other are doing, but then they kind of know when something happens. Oh, that was
Yes.
whatever group. I really do think that we'll probably get canceled pretty quick, but I really do think that there's something that's all this stuff doesn't just happen. This is gonna be probably get. The pew pew incidences that happen that cause outrage a lot of times seem to happen around this episode, this time of year, leading. There's too many things anymore that if you actually pay attention, and that's what kills me about some young people's that just go through life oblivious to anything. Like, I don't watch the news. Well, I don't watch it 24/7, but you might want to pay attention a little bit,
Yeah.
in different sources and check it, because I'm all about some Fox. But
I was whispering to the camera that I watch the news.
oh yeah, well, see, and I know you do.
Yeah.
But where's it going?
Talking about like young people, yeah.
I like some Fox, but Fox sometimes is just as bad on one side of the aisle as the other side is to theirs. So you have to kind of be open minded, and And that's kind of what I'm doing here. I don't care who sits on that couch as long as they've got the mindset that we can have a discussion and, you know, whatever. Even if they're Auburn people. I don't care.
Well, you know, and I like that you brought that up too, because, you know, people these days are so, you kind of see people falling into like a people pleaser type way. Like they don't want to say anything. They don't want to be politically correct. And like I had made a post on Facebook not long ago, because I am in, you know, I'm in the insurance industry. I own an insurance agency, and
Now that's a titty.
Holy man.
everything affects every part of everything we do, even insurance. And the rates have gone up. That Donald Trump had actually said that, or he tweeted that they went up. Do you call it tweeted still? It's called X. I don't know.
Look,
I say
don't-
tweet. I call
I
it
don't
Twitter.
know. And then I saw that he was thinking about changing it back because nobody says we X'd.
No, we
Or,
tweeted.
yeah. Yeah. I X'd somebody.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
weird.
Anyway.
But he tweeted about the insurance rates, auto insurance rates going up 74%. And like I made a big long post on Facebook. I don't know if you saw it. If people want to go on there and look, they math it out. They can do whatever. But whenever I had posted that, I had made a comment on there, and somebody went on my office phone and registered me for the Democratic National Convention text messages. And I was like, which is funny. Whoever did it, you got it. But I literally posted on there. I was like, joke's on you. Because here's my thing, is I've always been, you know, jokingly we were talking about being weird. I've always been a free thinker, and have never really, and what we brought up earlier, this will all tie into that, is never really fit into a mold that I never wanted to try. And there was a part of my life that I did try to do that, and that's when things got rough, and we'll go back to that. But that, just talking about that way, I was like, you know, joke's on y'all, because I voted Democrat one time, I voted Independent one time, I voted Republican one time, because I don't go, like, I'm like you, I love the news. I will watch the news. You say not 24/7, I straight up will watch the news. Like Jamie and my therapist are like,
I had to stop.
Yes.
Because I could.
oh yeah,
But then a few years ago, something was happening. I don't remember what, but it was something that was like, there was probably something else that had happened, and now something else had happened, and we're all going, what's happening now?
Yeah.
So I don't remember what exactly it was, but it was something that I was watching, and I watched it for like 2 days straight, and I finally went, y'all are just saying the same shit over and over and over again.
in just different words.
So I'll check in and out every few days now and get the highlights, because unfortunately the news has kind of become like a soap opera. You can
It
check
has.
out for a couple weeks and come back in and you
It's
know,
the same stuff.
yeah, and
It's like Christmas songs. It's the same 20 songs, just 60,000 different people sing them.
Different font.
unless it's Mariah Carey, and then I skip.
Yeah. Easy.
Skip.
We yeah, it just
Sorry.
but it was the funniest thing to me, because I'm like, you know, I've always, you know, and then going back to what we're talking about, the reason that I love your podcast is because a lot of people, you get to know people on a different level. And like going back to what we were talking about earlier, is like there was a time in my life, the worst time in my life, that I was trying so hard to be what I thought I should be at that point. And it was like a good 4-year span, and during that time I lost my grandfather, who is my whole world and the most consistent man in my life, like, you know, before my stepdad, and like just loved him to death. Lost him, and then COVID happened right after that. And then I had a suicide attempt 6 months into COVID, because I had been treated for so many years for mood disorders. I'm diagnosed now with bipolar too, but they would treat me for just like depression or anxiety. And I'm telling you, I took every freaking medicine for that under the sun. And at that time, they weaned me off of it. Finally got in with a psychiatrist. She diagnosed me, put me on the right medicine. But I went through what they call bipolar psychosis, and I've only done that like 3 times. In hindsight, it's scary, but low key, it can be. I don't want to use the word cool, and Jamie think, what the heck? But it's kind of cool.
Get your little grippy sock
Yeah,
vacation.
yeah.
Hey, that's fine.
Yes.
No wrong
So,
with
unfortunately,
It's
I've
weird.
not got to go to the psych ward. No. Sometimes I beg Jamie, I'm like, please take me to Bradford just for 3 days or so.
I got a little spend the night bag.
Yeah, I'm like, here's my bipolar pass. Let me check in. But that was, we were weaning off the medicine, weaning on to the mood stabilizers, which is what you actually take when you're bipolar. And it just went to, this is the weirdest thing. I'm telling y'all, I've talked about this in Texas. This is not you can laugh. I'm going to give you permission to laugh. So the day that I had the bipolar psychosis, I was hallucinating so bad. I drove off into the woods, and all I could think about, it was listening. You don't even know what's going to happen. You're about to explode right now.
I can't stand it.
He's like, I can't stand it. I was listening to Post Malone, and I straight up was tripping that Post Malone was telling me to kill myself in my car. All these trees were, it was like being on drugs, I imagine, because I mean, I've done drugs, but not like those drugs, like ecstasy or anything. But I imagine, like, if I did, it would be like that. There were like leaves coming in the car, branches coming in the car, and Post Malone kept telling me to kill myself. And then all of a sudden, I snapped out of it. And it was like, okay, this is good and fine. That everybody's awkwardly stopped at your dispenser.
Well, hindsight, putting it right there made it sound like I was peeing.
It kind of looks like this too.
Oh my god, it does. I was like, what is in that? But so that led
My
to
libations.
where we are now, and that was the biggest thing with that is I was like, okay, if I'm gonna if I'm gonna get better, then the next thing I have to do is figure out who I am, and that was in 2020. In 2021, I opened my insurance agency, and then sold my house in 22, and then got a divorce and got remarried, and very quickly everything. And kind of it is kind of funny because Jamie and I both joke, is I'll be like, oh, I'm manic. I've been manic for the last 4 years, but really it's just you figure it out. And during that time, it was a very I finally opened my eyes when I was healed, because that's the thing with bipolar is people don't think about is when you take like Lexapro and stuff, it just makes you not sad temporarily.
Well.
The medicine that I take, it's like I have like two islands. One is happy and one is normal sad, not depressed sad. And that medicine just bridges the gap. So you have a middle and you're not manic or depressed. And whenever that clicked in my mind, it was almost like everything started falling back into place. Like, okay, it's okay. Like my biggest thing was I was really, really big into church at that point. And they made me feel like it and not to knock that church, because I'm sure a lot of people know where it was, but they made me feel like I had to be a certain way because that's what God wanted me to be. Of course, God has his standards, but God also does, and the way they were making me feel was not the same. So I can listen to Nirvana and the things that I love. I can ball out to freaking My Chemical Romance because I'm a 2007 kid. I can do the things that I want to do and not feel guilty.
Right.
And so, and I use those as an example because that's dumb. Like, you don't think it's kind of dumb, but that's the things that I love. And I was pulling apart all the things that I love to fit in this mold. And when you do that, you don't realize, like, this is detrimental to me as a person. And at the end of the day, it's not my job to make sure everybody's happy first and then to make me happy. Mm-hmm. It's my job to, just like your little dispenser over there, is to fill my cup up so I can distribute.
Look at you making a segue.
I know. You like that?
I did.
I helped you out there.
Thanks.
And so, but yeah, that just kind of to tie in what we were talking about at the beginning, and that is where, all of that stemmed from. Is like a lot of people will say what happened, with your, and that stuff doesn't go away. Like, you still deal with that stuff. Like, I had an episode not long ago, because trauma will trigger those things. Mm-hmm. And then, like, a lot of people don't know, bipolar is, a lot of people think it's completely genetic. It's actually not. If you were undiagnosed ADHD as a child and you're untreated, undiagnosed, typically that messes your brain up, messes your connection up, breaks your bridge, and it turns into bipolar.
Maybe that's what's wrong with me.
Maybe.
I used to I used to have to take ADHD medicine, but now I had to quit. Go in the military for 3 years and ain't took it since. Took a couple crazy pills,
Hey, I have to.
Well, and I don't know from your standpoint with the medicines that you took for that, but from some of my crap, when the doctors were doing stuff and I was taking handfuls, and some of it, the off-label use was to help with nerve endings and but it was the Lyrica and the other brain drugs that started messing with stuff, and you can screw some stuff up if it's not correct.
You can, and it's super important because I know that you and I use the same doctor, and
Do we?
yeah,
Well,
yeah, we do. Leanna and I discussed this, so we use the same doctor. Jamie uses him too, and it's very, in my opinion, it's very well. Everybody, I'm sure, will agree with this. It's good to have someone you can sit and talk to and really tell them how you feel because for the longest time. I was going to another male doctor and still to this day love him to death, but it was always, you're just tired, you're a mom, your kid's involved in everything, you work, you do this, you do that. And I'm like, okay, but that doesn't develop impending doom.
Right.
Like, I get it, like that plays into some of it. And Jamie and I are the same way, like you're talking about. Like, even with him, like go into, I know you just mentioned the military, Jamie was in the military as well, and it's like the VA is really bad about it, and you don't realize it until you're in that. They just want to throw everything at you, throw these medicines at you, and don't realize the repercussions that come with it. And something with me is it took forever, 2017 to 2020, to be properly diagnosed, to have the correct medications that I needed, and then still we have to tweak, like we were joking around earlier about having severe cotton mouth when we talk, and I take Vyvanse for ADHD.
Yeah.
So that's literally like Jamie was like, do I need to get you a bottle of water on the way there? I was like, no, it's the end of the day, we're good in the mornings.
Yeah, it's
That's
like,
when it's
I
rough.
need this so I can quit talking so much so I won't have cotton mouth, but like I'm also like still gonna talk at the same time,
Yes.
so it's gonna make it worse. Yeah, the medicine makes it worse.
Yeah.
All you're trying to do is quit talking and get your cotton mouth to go away. But what you took to get what you took to get you to stop talking also gives you cotton mouth.
Yes.
So and there's not any fresh type of water that can or drink at all that can cure.
A fresh,
I don't know though.
fresh
Blue
type
Spring
of
water. Blue Spring Water is at Blount County.
Mm-hmm.
Shameless plug. Please sponsor this podcast. Blue Spring Water.
Oh, there
You go. It's the best water ever. I feel like if you go to Antarctica and you drink from like a glacier, like a luge, but just water instead of Jaeger bombs, I feel like
Would it be a used luge or
it would be. You would get a fresh one.
Okay.
That's how good that water is.
Okay.
You would have your own Eskimo chisel your luge out.
Wait, what did you say?
Okay.
You would have your own Eskimo chisel your luge out.
That.
Hey, sign me up. I'm in.
He said done.
Yeah, sounds weird. I like it.
I think I would like. Yeah. No.
I just need to know if I need to have my clothes on or off when I show up.
You're in Antarctica. It might be a little cold, a little chilly.
Yeah. Especially, I do like to stay warm if I'm gonna have my luge
Yep.
chiseled out or whatever it was.
Yeah, gonna have to be.
Yeah. I don't want to get cold.
Yeah, don't want to be
Don't
cold.
want to get cold. So, crap. What was going?
The whole P Diddy deal
Well, no.
thing.
Uh,
This is what I was gonna bring something up anyways
Okay.
before that even goes away. What I was
Go
waiting
for
for. Have y'all seen? So have y'all seen like all the stuff that they even found in his house?
Oh my God, yes.
Like the 1,000 bottles of baby oil, which
Yeah.
I seen something today on the way home that while I was illegally on my phone, whatever.
Did you
That
have
he
seatbelt
put
on?
like he was putting like putting something in the baby oil. It was like GMD or something.
What?
It was somewhere. Yeah, but they're saying that they like tested it and it was like all like laced with like something and like that. Basically, they found something that basically they're saying that that's what the drinks and stuff were laced with as well.
You lied to me, Bill Cosby.
Because there's no taste to it. There's no smell. Like it just. There's no way of knowing, and you just.
It's like new age antifreeze.
I guess. So, but yeah, I seen that. But what I was getting at was, I seen this video the other day. It was talking about, all this stuff is popping up about him now. Like, oh, y'all remember this clip of the awards where he wiped this dude's lip off on live TV? And then there's one he was doing a dunk contest, and the guy goes to jump over him, and you see him, and it zooms in on his feet, and he stands up on his tippy toes, just so, and then it shoots to his face, it shows, and then it backs out the big picture, he's on his tippy toes, and the guy's right here, and P. Diddy's just, and he just wanted it just right across the forehead. Just...
And he's like, everybody's like digging into everything, and they're looking for the most, even if it's the dumbest thing ever, They're like
Stuff about, I mean, it's just popping
everything.
up everywhere.
Yes, just
everywhere.
anything.
Like that dunk contest. Like, no one would ever brought that up.
No,
ever.
never.
Because you could tell, like, by how the camera quality, like, it was probably, like, teens, 2000 teens, or whatever, 15, whatever. But it's just, yeah. But someone went back and found, they're snooping, like, and whoever's doing it, and whoever has the time, hey, kudos to you.
It's the Taylor Swift fans.
Yeah.
I'm hating on Taylor Swift this podcast, but I'm telling you,
Go for it.
that the Taylor Swift fans, they freak me out. Like, no offense to anybody that listens to this podcast that likes Taylor Swift as a stand for Taylor Swift, but I'm telling you,
Is she still with the football player?
Yeah.
Travis? No, or
yes.
Jason's cool.
And she made him grow his hair out, and it's just tragic. That's what I told Jamie. I was like, "Ugh, he needs to get the hair back up." But it's just weird. Like, the whole situation is weird.
I heard people were saying, like, he's, like, trapped in, like, in that, like, the whole deal we was talking about, that she has him, that she's in that now he's, like, trapped in it.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah. See, I've heard that too, and everybody keeps saying they're all involved in this stuff, and I'm just like, I don't know, man. She's just...
real quick. I would go ahead and say, regardless of whatever we uncover about Miss Swift,
I guess if this never makes it out real far.
if I were fortunate enough to be trapped in my current state with Taylor Swift, I would probably be okay. Yeah, I'd make it work.
Okay, I was about to say, I know it wasn't for her albums.
You would make it work because you're making it rain.
No, because she was.
She's making it, yeah.
And I would be like, hey, can I get a new pair of shoes?
No, shoes.
But-
I'm asking for a.
He's like, can I get a
or
Ferrari,
something?"
not some on
Yeah,
clouds?
let me get a Lambo.
Well,
real
you gotta
quick.
You gotta start slow. I
And work your way up.
Yeah, you're right. I
because
should
you
ask
don't-
for a brand new Denali Duramax first.
You're like, hey
no,
Taylor, I
because-
forgot my wallet.
Yeah, you need to make her think that it's real. So you gotta start slow. Anyway, you're gonna get me sidetracked again. My point was that old dude has got plenty of his own money. So
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like he could leave if he wanted to, couldn't he?
You would think, unless he did like a blood signature on something like
Yeah,
blood.
just,
Blood.
Well, I don't know. I think it was a coincidence. Now that you bring that up, that right after Jason retired, his brother, that they automatically all this stuff popped up about. I think, or it might have been about. I'm pretty sure they're talking about Travis. That they were trying to offer him like basically 85% of his full contract with them if he went ahead and retired now too,
Oh,
so
wow.
that they could bring on new people ever since his brother retired too.
That's just weird.
I might be completely wrong. I did hear that, but it might be about his brother, and that might be why Jason retired.
Well,
But
and then going back to like the Swifties being crazy, like talking about like the research and stuff, like they went back on Travis Kelce's. So he's my age, and they went back to 2006, 2007 tweets and Facebook posts about the dumbest crap, and he called some girl fat, and they were like, "Oh my god!" Like, and I'm like, "How do y'all have the time to go back on this crap?" Like, and you can't tell me these P Diddy people that are dragging, they're Swifties. These people are they're Swifties. They are the ones finding this crap because I'm telling you,
she's probably on the list.
she probably is on the list. I feel like the devil. There's
is,
a
like-
devil list written in blood.
But
mean,
like everybody,
Craziness.
everybody was talking about like the guest list though. But I mean, like you think, about how many people probably did actually show up or on the guest list that didn't.
Who was that one that yesterday or a couple days ago? It was another celebrity dude that they said was on the list multiple times, and he's like, "Yeah, but I had no clue." It was like,
Oh yeah, I know who you're talking about. If you hadn't asked me, I'd tell you.
it was somebody that I would have been like, "Oh man."
Yeah. No,
But,
hey, I tell you who's been dogging the mess out of P Diddy. I don't know if y'all have seen this.
Is this 50 Cent?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. But,
50 Cent is
yeah.
so funny.
But
Him
me and my wife
Ja
are
Rule.
weird too. Yeah. Me and my wife are weird too. We'll sit there and watch stuff like that all the time. Send it back and forth. It's he cracks me up.
He does.
All the stuff he comes up with and these memes he's making of himself.
Did you see where he bought the first 4 rows of Ja Rule's concert?
Yeah.
Just to piss him off because they hate each other so bad. And he was like, And that MFer had to come out here and performed 4 empty rows in the front with me sitting straight in the middle. I was like, that's the most petty thing ever.
And that would be cool, I think. Maybe
That's why he could deal with the Swifty thing.
to
Yeah.
have that kind of money to just to be able, because
Oh, you know what? I really hate this dude.
I enjoy messing with people,
Well,
and I'm broke. If
if I had enough money to buy, you know what? I'm gonna buy
I might would've
4
bought
rolls of
6
VIP.
rolls.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Hey,
Yeah.
you be like, if I got that kind of money, you be like, I don't buy the whole concert
Just to be mean.
and just me.
Yeah.
And I'm probably
And
gonna
then shut it down.
And I'm going to vibe so hard
I'm gonna
by
be in my
myself.
bathrobe.
Yes, right at the
I
stage.
got a fruit tray,
But see,
banana hammock,
but see,
no
there-
shirt on.
There again, though, if he actually legitimately paid for it, then I'd probably be like, cool, I get a night off. Look at all this money I made.
Yeah, that's true.
So
Yeah, but I think about things like that too. But then again, it's also like
He's killing our dreams, isn't he, Chris?
if he's got
sorry.
but then again, I'm gonna be like, if I got that kind of money to where I can do that and not care, I probably don't care even if I look dumb. I proved my point. I will buy your whole concert and sit there nearly naked and watch you sing to me all night if it just pisses you off.
Just to make you mad?
Just to make you, when you lay down at bed at night, you struggle to sleep because you're like, he really, and you're not gonna be mad that I did it. You're gonna be mad because you didn't think about it first.
Oh, yeah.
That's what's really gonna chap your ass.
Yep. That's
Think
true.
about it. That's what it is.
So, I was fixing to go somewhere, and then you
Well, don't go nowhere, baby. Stay right here.
chapping your ass about sitting naked and watching somebody because you bought 4 rows or something.
Hey, look, I done that one time outside your house, Daniel. You gotta let it go.
Did y'all watch the debate last night?
So I did not get to watch
I didn't get to watch it.
I didn't watch the whole thing. I turned it on. Well, I finally got done messing with this crap and turned it on, and it was like, "Thank you." And I was
Yeah.
like, but then they replayed it, and I watched it until I watched most of it.
It was good. But inappropriate things, you just cracked me up because Tim Walz had a little slip up and he goes, I'm friends with school shooters.
I didn't-
And very convicted looking at the camera.
I didn't.
And it was obviously, he did not mean to say that.
Yeah, I didn't get that.
But it
far,
was so funny because on Twitter, the first thing I get on Twitter, and it said, well, if Donald Trump or J.D. Vance would have said that, they would have been hung from the rafters.
yeah.
So I liked J.D. Vance before
I did too.
Trump said, "Hey, J.D. Vance," and then I hadn't got a chance to read all of his book yet. I started it, but I'm super bad about reading. I'll sit down. I'm bad about if I finally sit down. I'm usually
Yeah.
unless I'm actively doing something. Reading is not active, and then I'll just end up going,
You need to do audiobooks. That's what I do.
good.
Yeah.
I can't. No. Yeah. If I read, I can be wide awake, and then if I get up, be fine. But the moment I lay down in bed, open a book, out.
Yeah.
I've always been, and the thing is, I like to read, but I haven't in years and years and years and years and years because it always ends some way. I normally don't read until I go to bed. I sit down to read.
And
But
now I will watch the crap out of some documentaries.
Watch
and,
his movie on Netflix.
I started it, but it was one of those. So I've had the last 3 months maybe that I've been doing this and been going nonstop up until this last week.
yeah.
And I didn't know what to do with my time this week, and I still got a few things I got to do. But I was like, you know what, it's fine. So anyway, moral of that story was I came out here one night and I turned it on and I got all comfy, and then I was out. So I
Yeah.
haven't got to finish watching that yet either.
It's good. If you had any type of childhood trauma, it's rough. I watched that movie not long after my grandpa died, and when you finish the book, when you finish the movie, you'll understand why it's rough in it. And he is actually somebody that I've idolized for a while before, he was chosen. One cool thing I like about him is they asked him on stage last night, they were like, you shit talked Donald Trump in 2016. He's like, bro, yeah, I sure did, because I didn't think that he was going to do what he needed to, and then he did.
And see, in this sidetrack moment, hopefully you're better than I am at keeping up, but that's what frustrates me so much about our politics at the moment. The, one side knows good and damn well that the stuff they're spewing is
Garbage.
And they're doing it, and it's ruining stuff.
It is.
I mean, legitimately ruining stuff. And and going back to what I was talking about earlier about the kids not paying attention or whatever, getting their information from just that one source that paints it. So, what's some faces? The two Chicky Poos that did they were complete.
Yeah, they were.
You can say it because you're a lady. I'm not, but
I would have called them "See You Next Tuesdays." So we'll let that.
Not the best at spelling over here. I'm, trying to figure it out.
But
go to English class.
But he called.
you got it though, didn't you?
I don't know if that would be an English class, but maybe.
I'll write you a note.
But he called him out though. He straight up called him out. But I'm gonna tell you, not only with politics. Let's just be real. Let's be real, because it ties into what we were talking about at the beginning.
It all ties in.
If people would just communicate, and let's just even go on a lower level. I lost my brains the other day at the football game on the chain guy that was yelling at our kids. Acted like pure white trash on the sideline. Was it justified? Absolutely. However, it's because I was willing to communicate with him. I probably used a bad tone, but I was like, listen.
Wait a minute. From now on, anytime that there's an argument ever, I said, look, don't get pissed at me. I'm just the one willing to communicate.
You should. You should. You should. Because if you think about what did JD Vance do last night? He and I, like Jamie he'll tell you, like, especially when, like, I'm doing like business stuff, when I talk to people in a business transaction, I say their name often just because it helps me remember it and face the name. But he does that, and he called their tail out. They cut his mic off, and they said they can't hear you, and I was like, yes, we can. We can hear everything he's saying right now.
But their demeanor, like, I've watched a lot of debates in my however many years that I've been able to watch debates and remember them, and right, left, in the middle, whatever, it doesn't matter. Those two last night were just nasty.
Catty. They were catty girls.
Yeah.
And that's what it made me think of, is I was like, okay, somebody has told them this is what you're going to do, or you're going to lose your job, or whatever it was. And they came after him, and that's the thing I like about him is even a lot of our generation, I think a lot of us are like that, is we're more likely to say, hey, this is the problem, and this is how we're going to fix it. There's no gray area, I feel like.
Well, and so circling back to me real quick, what we started talking about finding things and figuring stuff out. So for the longest in what I do, I've tried to. You have to kind of play both sides, and you have to kind of find a happy medium and appease where you need to. But I'm tired of doing it, and so. Yeah, I'm just tired.
Yeah.
And so you get to the point to where I don't really care, respectfully, I don't care anymore.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have my opinion, and you can have yours, and we'll move on.
Yep. That's the biggest reason why I opened my insurance agency, is because I'd worked in insurance for so many years, and I watched everything that I was doing for the agencies I worked for, and I saw what I was limited on, because, for years I worked at Allstate, which was a captive agency, and the difference in captive and what I do now, independent, is captive you only can sell that one company, so like Alpha and State Farm, all them. Now I can sell multiple, but the other thing is I can market how I want to, like my stupid memes. I can do, anything that I want as far as marketing. I can say what I want to. I don't have to limit myself. And I think, go back to those two women, and then exactly what you're talking about, we become so indoctrined to what we're supposed to be that we lose who we are, and that's what is built in us to keep our serotonin going, keep our dopamine going. Like, Jamie and I have this conversation often, because, like, I told him the other day, I was like, just like going back to what you said, I'm tired. Like that's one of my things that when I go speak is I talk about is, are you tired or is your soul tired? And if your soul is tired, we got to figure out why, because when your soul is tired, that's a battle with your mind.
Well, and you have to start finding time for yourself.
Yes.
Because one of the revelations that I had not too long ago was the reason that I was so unhappy. The reason that I was aggravated at the world is because ever since I've been able to do anything professionally, whatever, it's always been if I see something, I fix it, or or I make it run, or I make it better, or so all the jobs that I've had, that's been my job. I make shit happen. And so recently it occurred to me that one of the reasons that I've just felt absolutely useless in life was because I was kind of handcuffed where I was and didn't have the ability to, so I was just going through the motions every day and going, well, I would love to take care of that, but, anyway, and so I was stuck, couldn't do anything. And it dawned on me that it was because I was just going through the motions. I didn't have any desires to do anything different anymore. And so then when we started talking about this, and it was like, okay, gotta do it, because I could easily talk myself back into just, okay, you'll be okay, but
some of your stuff.
And that's a huge thing, adding to what you're saying, like, because, I'm a huge, going back to things that people may not know, they might know this if you follow me on any social media, I'm a huge advocate for therapy. Everybody in my house goes to therapy. We go to therapy once a week. I go to a psychiatrist. And that was one of the most profound things that I ever learned from my psychiatrist when I was diagnosed in 2020 is she said, your reality is allowed to affect your emotions. If somebody dies, you're allowed to be sad, as long as you can pinpoint what your emotions are. Because, depression, you can't figure out why. But you can say, okay, I'm depressed because I'm sad because of where I'm at in life. So she would say, your reality is allowed to affect your emotions, but your emotions should not be affecting your reality. And that's when your emotions take over and it becomes a place where you're, not complacent, with life or whatever. And you have two different type of people. You have, and I'm sure Jamie won't mind me sharing this, like you have fixers, which is what I am. And then you have people that panickers. Like that's what I'll say. We joke around. I'll say he's a panicker and I'm a fixer. I'll immediately want to fix whatever's wrong. It doesn't matter if it's mechanical. It doesn't matter if it's mental, emotional. If something's wrong, I want to fix it, and I tend to like smother when I want to fix it. And then Jamie is opposite. Jamie has to go and he needs time to think about it. He's a processor.
So I'm somewhere in the middle.
Gotcha.
Like I need time to process. Everybody shut up for a minute. Quit asking me 47 questions. Give me 43 seconds. Let me do, because that's the way my brain works. I'll start at one end and I'll go all the way and I'll come back and I hit everything that could happen, could go wrong, whatever, and so just for a minute.
It's one of those that you're watching it and you're going, this can get bad.
But so when I see problems, that's I need to take care of it. I need to fix it, and that's what got me in some issues in my younger years too, was trying to figure out how to balance that desire or need to want to help people, but then finding time for yourself, and so then you go through life and you and so that's why I guess 4 years ago I built this. Didn't look anything like this, but it was just me time. It had 2 fluffy recliners, a TV, smoke my cigars, watch fights, listen to music, just and give yourself time to, because there's too much damn noise.
There is.
Between all the crap the kids have got to do. Oh, it's fundraiser season, by the way. Fixing to have to start selling wrapping paper and shit too.
Oh God.
It's it's always something.
I'm a write a check parent.
We have been for years.
I'm a write a check parent, or I don't give a crap that you're getting a stuffed animal on your wrist. I'll go buy you one at the Dollar Tree.
Yeah, but
Yes.
like what you were saying about kind of like being the in between. So I'm like kind of like the same way, but I have this whole deal about like, yeah, I want to fix it, but like at the same time, I'm also panicking about how I'm gonna do it. Like I know, like okay, I know I gotta do this, do that, but like I'm panicking about it, and my wife knows. Like she like I told him earlier, I was like I've been on one this afternoon. I've been fine all day at work. Blah blah. It's like I got home, I walked through the door, and it was, and it probably had to do something when I picked my youngest up from her mama. She watches them, Forster and they praise her. She's a lifesaver. But he was just 4,700 questions all the way to the house. So by the time I get home, I'm just like, and we went to the grocery store, went grocery shopping. Just one thing after another, and then and I'm like trying to hurry up, so I'm trying to like cook her supper and stuff because I knew I had this. I was gonna be gone. She was getting home late from work. Least I could do was have supper ready for her when she walked through the door.
Yeah.
My good husband, take notes, gentlemen. And as soon as she walked through the door, she said something and I was just like, and I felt so bad about it, and I was just, I said something. I was like, yeah, that's why you gotta do this. I mean, damn, dumbass. And I told him, I was like, I stomach, because I have never in my life said anything like that to my wife. I was like, we're joking around, like giving each other, yeah. But like being like ill about something, saying that, like, and I was like stumbled and mumbled and fumbled over my wife. She was like, are you serious right now? And I'm like, I've had a long afternoon. And she was like, I can tell. I was like, I'm going to take a shower real quick. Everything's done. She was like, okay, that's fine. Thank you. Let's go. But it's because, I mean, like you were saying and stuff, I mean, just, we have so much going on, especially in today's time.
It's all the time.
Yeah, and always having to worry or panic about, I need to fix this. And you don't really take the time to yourself, especially with, you got a wife, you got a husband, you got kids, you got work, bills, blah, blah, blah. You don't have time to just sit down to yourself, which is where the therapist thing kind of comes into. And I've always said, for the longest time, it's a little dumb saying I've told my friends, guys, girls, whoever, my parents, I've said time and time again, if you don't take the time to love yourself, you can't expect anyone else to do the same. Mm-mm. So you're too worried about trying to please and fix, and so that everybody's but in the whole hindsight of the picture, you're not taking the time to put the finishing touches on the picture and take care of yourself in order to just,
well,
for 5 seconds.
And for so long, I was the type that I heard everybody say that. Yeah, I know. But I got, even like my dad, if he watches this, I don't know if I do or not. Hey. He told me recently, you need to slow down. I was like, I'd love to, but I got this, and I got this, and I got this, and this, and this, and this, I'd love to slow down. But at some point, you do have to figure out how to slow down, even if it means selling your Harley.
Look, Trey told me about it. I wasn't even going to bring it up because I knew it was a touchy
so if
subject.
Trey told you about it, then you know what I got.
Yeah, Market has.
Oh, I know. But
you should have seen what they gave my dad for at 23 or at 22. Yeah, well, we talked about that.
Yeah, but
anyways.
what they showed him, I'm sure, was a lot better than what they actually gave him, because he bought a brand new one and they could play. I just went up there and said, "Hey guys, I'd like to sell my bike."
And they do give a little bit more trading in than
they do, because you can play with the numbers. I can make you feel warm and fuzzy if you trade in a piece of crap. If I've got mine marked up enough, that's just how it works, and people don't understand that. But when you go to just try to sell something, and then they got to turn around and do whatever, and then they did come and say, "Well, it needs $1,200 worth of work to it."
Of course they did.
No.
What does it need? And he said, "I don't know. Let me go get the paper." So he went back and got the paper and brought it to him, and it was just standard fluid changes, flushes, and whatever.
Yeah, it was an old
at Harley prices.
Not knowing that your bike is
at Harley prices, So yeah,
See,
it was $1,200.
When you sent me that picture, I didn't even really know that's what you were doing until Trey hit me up after. He was like, "Hey, thanks for hitting." I was like, "Oh, he sold his bike."
Sure
I was
did.
wondering why you sent me that video, and you was like, "I mean, it looked like you had to sell your bike." That makes sense now.
Look, I didn't.
Hey, I'm telling you, Daniel, it's God's plan, because you got rid of your street glide. It's just opening up opportunities for this and everything else, so that way you know where I'm going. Don't interrupt me. So that way that you can get you a 24 road glide.
So I sat on a 24 road glide. It was pearl white and it already had bars on it. It was nice.
Jamie's not getting a motorcycle.
Yeah, they're
Let me
like
just add
taller,
that in
but
there.
they're not. Yeah, that's the factory ones on them now.
No.
Oh, they have
because I
aftermarket.
sat on a factory one, and then I sat on a factory one that had a 121 and a.
That's what Dad's is, I think. Yeah, the pearl white.
I thought he said his was 117.
Yeah.
Anywho,
Anyways,
I made this, but I didn't post it. I'll just let you see it here.
Goodbye, old girl.
I hated
That's
when I
so
sold my
sad.
bike.
Yeah, I know.
I tried to sell it. It wound up getting stolen.
But that was I don't
Did
have
it get
many-
stolen, or did you commit insurance fraud?
No, it was stolen. It was a whole ring of people that it happened to.
So that was one of the few things that I have that was paid for, that I could say, you know what, the economy is super great at the moment, and yeah, I could probably use that money in the bank more so than
Just sitting.
just sitting or just riding it.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I could. This is gonna sound bad, but I guess I could go take a couple stacks out and ride it every once in a while. That does sound bad, don't it?
Yeah.
No worse than
I mean,
Absolutely.
I told you,
yeah,
Daniel.
no worse than carving out my own luge.
If you was worried about it being road, I could have.
I wasn't worried about it being road. If you wanted to, pay me rent or something on it, that'd been fine. But anyway, we got sidetracked.
Too late to tell me that now.
Yeah, I don't really know where we was going.
I have never ridden a motorcycle. Jamie's not allowed to have a motorcycle because he's not trustworthy.
Well, so
He is a daredevil.
I mean, I really can't.
yeah.
Yeah.
sorry.
I'd love to tell you,
Sorry,
man,
buddy.
that she's wrong,
Sorry, buddy.
and that she don't have a point, and give you good examples
do.
and reasons of why you need a Harley, other than just you need a Harley because you need a Harley.
And he just so sick of me with stuff because he'll say something like, we were talking about building houses earlier and roof pitches, and I was like, no, we can't go over that angle because it's more expensive to build. And then I was like, no, we can't do that because it's more expensive to insure. And he was just
So I need to get with you before we do that.
Yeah.
Before we ever do. Well, see,
Yes.
and our whole goal at this place was, we bought it from her mom. Mm-hmm. We remodeled it. We were going to stay here a little bit and then probably flip it and then go build whatever. But then,
yeah.
So here we are. Which, Madison's gone now. Mm-hmm. And then Caden will be gone in 6-7 years.
Yeah.
No, I guess 7 or 8 years.
Yeah.
You think?
Fifth
You
grade.
think?
Yeah.
No. He'd be gone. He'd be gone.
I feel like he would want to be gone.
Yeah. Well, and Madison left as soon as she was able to.
Yeah.
But, I mean, she had plenty of things. She'd been through a lot, and she was ready to do her own thing. So,
And Ezra and Caden are independent. Like, they're
yeah.
kind of like grown-ups already.
Well, and a lot of that has to do with all the technology crap, too. Mm-hmm. I mean, I feel bad sometimes that I let him do his thing, and they're doing the thing, but, I mean...
That's where the world's going.
Well,
At some
so
point in
we
today's
have
time.
we have put a stop to some of the stuff that he watches
Yeah.
or some
Yeah,
of the stuff
yeah.
that he has the ability to access because and that's been a long time ago.
Yeah.
Because there's just like the kids shows nowadays, the kids are super duper smart asses to their parents on the shows, and then they got the laugh track, and then everybody's like ha ha ha, and this was like years ago when we took this away from Caden.
Are you talking about Henry Danger?
I think so.
Oh my God, I knew it. The kid, they're mean. The kids yell at their parents, and the little girl screams, and
Yeah,
they put the
and
laugh track.
And then make the dad look like a complete
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I think yes. I don't even know if me and Leanne has ever talked about that. I banned Henry Danger.
Well, we banned a lot of stuff.
Henry Danger is top of my list for me.
Yeah.
I guess I
rather
need
let
to
Ezra
put
watch.
that on my list of stuff to
I-
watch for. as
I
my
would
boys get
literally
older.
let
Well, I
Ezra
mean,
watch
you'll-
American Gangster before I let him watch Henry
Well, see,
Danger.
my kids are Grafton's will be 4 next month, and Everett just turned I think 6 now. Yeah, 6 in June, and so but like I said, I mean today's time kids got to learn off technology and stuff because that's where the world's going to whether you like it or not. But we try to, but like there's been like this like what's kind of the like Roblox some game, but it's like, but so I'm like no, but like Everett's my stuff, like he goes back and forth between him or me and his real dad and his real dad's parents and then my parents. I mean, like, it's hard. I mean, for everybody, if he, like I said, because kids have iPads or tablets they play or watch on. Everyone, like I said, our kids, we limit what they watch, limit how long they get to be on it, blah blah blah. But they're not glued to it. How like the kids are, so they're screaming, and we know that when sometimes we're, because there's some days we come home we want a break.
Yeah.
No, hey, can we put that? We're like, do your thing, son. Whatever, boys. If y'all want to go play, whatever. But we know that it's been a little much because then they start getting fussy and whiny and throwing it. You tell them, I don't want to. I'm like, woohoo! I don't want to get up and go to work every day, but I got to.
And that's been our thing with Caden for the longest. Like, I don't want him playing video games all the time, and a lot of times we'll put a time limit on it. But on the same token, I also don't want to force him to do something that he doesn't want to do.
Yeah.
And then, but he also knows, like, if I'm out here and he's in there doing his own thing, if he wants my attention for longer than 5 minutes, because we've had that conversation, like, just because you get bored for a second, because Ezra needed to go to the bathroom and y'all were playing Fortnite, and now you don't have nothing to do for that 5 minutes while Ezra's in the bathroom.
Yes.
Don't come out here and knock on my door and interrupt me because we said, what do you want to do? I think I'm going to play Fortnite. Okay, cool. I'm going to go out here. You play Fortnite, I'm going to go out here. We'll meet back up here in a little bit. And then I'll be out here and I'll get kicked back. And that was back when I had the recliners. And that would be... and I'd open the door. What, dude? You want to play basketball? Yeah. I'd come back in and get my flip-flops. I'd turn the TV off or whatever. We'd go out there and we'd start playing. And we'd play like... I think he would shoot like 3 shots. Ezra's probably back on the... And here we go. No. Don't.
You're standing there with the ball.
No. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love you. I'll do whatever you want to do. But damn it, we're going to do it longer than just to... it took me 8 minutes to get my shoes together and get up and get straight and get out there.
See, my kids like to ask me to do stuff when we're in the middle of like leaving or doing something. Like we'll be walking. I'm like, hey, they know we just got them dressed. They just got showers. They just got dressed. Put the
That
shoes
never
on.
gets better.
We told them that we're going somewhere. Hey, we could be walking out the door to go to church. We're going to meet Papa and Mama to go to
I
church.
think we've
and
literally...
they'll be like, okay, and be ready. We're going to sit, and they're all excited and repeating, saying, knowing that we're leaving. Like, boys, y'all go get in the truck. Okay, but do you want to play Spider-Man where we jump over the couch and then you hide in the closet, and then in 30 minutes I'm like, no, we are leaving.
Emery, our little girl, that is her 100%. And girls are so different from boys. Like, you can attest to this because you have Madison. And girls are so different from boys. Like, it is the funniest thing because Emery will be like, I need you to come, like, very specifically. She'll have all of her stuff everywhere, very meticulously put where she wants it. I need you to come in here and we're going to play Karen's on the airplane traveling to Hawaii. Here's a suitcase. I need you to be the Karen, and then I need Dad to come in here and he's going to have the 6 babies that keeps crying. And then I need you to yell at Dad, and then I'm going to be the pilot that comes back here and says, don't yell. We don't have Karen's on the plane. And then if we don't do it just like that, then she makes us do it over and over and over.
But a big difference, I will say, between girls and boys is that while she was having that ginormous drama-filled session, y'all were able to kind of sit there and probably be somewhat comfortable.
This is true.
And do all of that.
Yes.
And you can be involved, and you can be like, oh my goodness, I can't believe you had to do all them 6 kids. But with boys, you got to get your ass up.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
and I don't mind.
You know how Grafton is.
Again, I don't mind. So no comments about, well, you should get up, but fatty, you need to lose some anyway. No, I'm just saying that girls would sit here. I could play T with Madison comfortably for 45 minutes.
Just existing, basically.
Yeah, and she would do her thing, and I was there if she needed me, and we'd interact, and we'd do whatever, and I would just enjoy the moment, and you could still have some time. With Caden, it's if you're not on your feet going 100 miles an hour nonstop, then he's pouting. he's got to have something to do, either TV, iPad, playing games, playing football, baseball, basketball. It's all the time.
Grafton's like that
Something.
bad, and you've seen him even over here. We've had cookouts and stuff for the fights.
Mm-hmm.
He's about. You can't just sit and play. Hey, let's play basketball. You do it, and he's like, okay, I want to sit down for a minute. And you go and you sit down. I pull my phone out. I go to text Madison. She isn't off work yet. And then, but Dad, let's go do this. I'm like, okay, hang on. So, and he's so much like, no, pay. Like, I want to go do it now. That he slides his hand over my phone. He grabs the bottom of my chin. He pulls me up and goes, look at me. Here, I want to go play basketball. And I'm like, okay, excuse me, sir.
So I blame, this is my older age coming out, but I think there's some legitimacy to it. I for really blame anybody our kids' age or younger.
Yeah.
Their ADD symptoms that they have are, I feel, 100% tied to today's ability to go, I want to watch it and go,
Oh yeah.
and it's there.
No commercials.
Or I want to play it, it's there.
Yeah.
My bad. The constant.
They're too convenient. Everything's too convenient for them.
Need to want to, when we used to get bored, you was damn bored until you found something else to do that usually took a little bit of time, and that involved getting up, going outside, figuring out something to do, and then you had to figure out, do I really want to get up and go just play with that stick and do whatever?
Yeah, used to, that was the best thing.
Yeah.
My parents.
So now they have the ability to do whatever, whenever, however, instantly, and so anytime that they get remotely bored with the conversation or with the topic that whatever event you're playing, they're ready to do something else.
Yeah, and like when we were young too, like the first, let's see, I got a DVD player. I think it was like 10, and at that time that was the coolest thing ever. And I remember I had one DVD. I had Men in Black, and I had Men in Black, and then I used my birthday money to buy Blue Crush. So I had those two movies. And guess what happened when you watched those two movies? You didn't have Netflix. You couldn't go watch something else. You couldn't do. It was like
you rewatch them, or you go find something else to do.
Exactly. And
you find the Blu-ray version and watch it instead.
No, we were too old. We didn't have Blu-ray then. We were just straight up DVDs. And then, of course, we didn't have cable in our rooms. We didn't have... And our kids are just so spoiled. Like, they're so pampered. Like, all of them. Like, even Jamie and I were talking the other day about the convenience of, like fast food and stuff, going back to busy. Like, your schedule, you're like us. Like, we have football literally between Emery cheering, Ezra playing, and Easton playing 6 out of 7 days a week. We doing football.
Well, and Ezra didn't play baseball.
No, he doesn't play baseball, and we're thankful because last year Easton did track.
So that gives you a little bit of a break with him.
Well, he's not playing basketball this year either. And so Easton is playing basketball. So yes, we got a little break with Ezra. Easton did track, and then now Easton's doing basketball. Ezra's not, but it works out well. Ezra's wanting to hunt. That's why he said he didn't want to play basketball. He wanted to hunt, which I'm down with that. Get down. We're doing that. Yeah. And then he's wanting to play spring football. So that it's just something. And then at the same time, you're like, okay, well, I want my kid to develop these skills that he's learning. No, I obviously don't think he's going to be in the NFL. Ezra will tell you he wants to be in the Army. Easton will tell you he might be in the NFL. The other day he was committed to Auburn, but then he decommitted and is committed to Alabama because he thinks he's going to be Ryan Williams.
There you go.
But but with all that, you want them to do all these things because they learned so many good skills from everything. But at the same time, it's like, damn, like, when do we get a freaking break?
Well, and I was thinking about this the other day. I didn't play sports when I was little, like Caden. And I didn't really when I was older either. There was like a small window that I tried to do sports, but I lost my train of thought again. This happens all the time. I didn't take my alpha brain.
Yeah, that's what it is. You're talking about playing sports when you were younger. You didn't really play them.
Well, I was trying to make the deal with there's so much that you learn from sports that you don't get anymore, because like I remember doing things because we were broke and we seemed to have more time. My memories were in the woods or camping or going and doing things that didn't cost any money.
Yeah.
Okay. But my dad was fortunate, and he had a job that was Monday through Friday, and he was off on the weekends. So a lot of times we would leave out, Friday afternoon after work, and we wouldn't come home until Sunday. We'd go to the hunting club or, whatever. I've never had the ability to do that because I've always had a job where I work at least one, if not both days of the weekend.
Yeah.
And I never have, so you hate to deprive, like, I'm ready for Caden to start trying to narrow some stuff down.
Yeah.
Right now he plays everything except for hockey, and that's just because the pro ain't got one without driving to Huntsville. But on the same aspect, though, I don't really want to take any of that away from him, because he's making memories in those areas that I can't allow him to have in the other areas because of what I have to do to be able to turn the lights on.
Right.
So it's always that battle that you have to try to figure out, do I want to constantly be gone from, because it's football, and then it rolls right into basketball, which then you get a little bit of a break, and then you roll right in to the where am I at? Baseball, and then it's non.
And then football starts over in July.
It's nonstop, and he even said something about soccer a couple years ago, maybe. I think he said something about maybe. I was like, no. No. And he wants to do track when he gets older, but maybe by then, he'll try to. He wasn't going to play football this year.
Yeah. Ezra helped talk him into it.
Yeah, and his mom too. So.
Yeah.
And then, regardless whether he wants to play next year or not, I think y'all have already talked about y'all making sure you're getting your. We've done this for this many years. We're gonna get the recognition.
Yep. Especially since Ezra's not playing basketball. I'm like, well, you're at least gonna do it for football.
Yeah.
So.
But they have enjoyed it way more this year.
Yeah,
I think
they have.
We won't go into a whole lot of details, but I think they're doing way better.
They are.
But a lot of that has to do with age too. They're finally to that age where some stuff's starting to click, and they're able to do some. They're getting to the point where it's starting to get fun to watch them.
Almost to make it make sense.
Right.
And not running around like
it's almost like they understand that, okay, so we actually have plays
in position.
That if we do this, it kind of, here's these puzzle pieces go together. See, I'm ready for the boys to be that age, but then again, like, I'm not like kids. I mean, because we can't have any more kids, which I'll start pulling my eyes out now. But I mean, we can't have any more kids and stuff. So like, I'm trying to enjoy every little bit of time I can of watching them grow up and do this. Like my dad always done with me. I mean, like, I'll never tell my boys no.
Yeah.
They want to when they get like Everett's playing baseball now, and Grafton, when we go and watch, he loves it. I think he'll be able to start next year. He's got they're both weird. One of them's got they're the youngest of their class, and the other one's will be the oldest of their class.
That's like Easton and Ezra, isn't it?
Yeah, so it's back. I get it mixed up. But anyway, it's like, so I'm never. If they want to play baseball, sure. They want to run track. I mean, but because I was allowed to do that, like you said. I mean, I made memories because with my stepdad, I mean, with his job and stuff like that, and the way he grew up, like he was always able to hunt and go to the hunt and stuff like that. But like me and my real dad, we were able, he didn't really grow up doing that a whole lot, but like we grew up with a whole like motorcycles and music, so we sat down and played guitar, so we had like our different things, but my parents never told me no. They just let me go and do all these things and had their different ways of doing that. And I never really noticed it, until now that I have my own kids. I'm like,
and me and Leanna talked about that the other day. I feel bad sometimes that, like, I'll be sitting on the porch or out here, which is 15 foot apart. while he goes and plays or watches, whatever, I'm available if he wants to do something. And so there's a lot of times that I feel bad because I'm just sitting here doing whatever, enjoying, but it's, yeah, you just always nonstop going. And
Yeah.
so if they're enjoying doing what they're doing, then, whatever.
Well, and they're making connections and relationships and friendships and stuff too, and I think that's important. That's one thing, like with like Ezra and Cade, for example, playing like their Oculus and then playing like PlayStation. Like I know Leanna's got hers set up, or got Caden set up like how ours is like they can play online with their friends that we approve, but they can't with anybody else. During the summertime, like I do love that they can connect that way. And then, I really like to, I'm about to tell a story, throw Jamie under the bus too. You probably remember if you could hear my vows at my wedding because it was freezing that day and super windy.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
It was cold. So, but that was one good thing about my mom is she let us kind of like try everything that we wanted to, like different sports and, the band. And like, that's actually how Leanna and I met, is when I was in the band, we were in the band together. And, that's one thing that I've really encouraged the kids is like, try everything and see what you like, because you don't realize as you get older, you are able to put those things in perspective as being an adult. Like, put yourself first, find what you need to find out what makes you happy. And then when you get into situations like me and you've been in, Daniel, you realize like, okay, you're able to recognize that you're doing things because you enjoy them, not because it's mundane things that you're supposed to enjoy. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that is one thing. But going back to that, I was in the band in school, and Jamie and I were dating, and he played football. We were both at Fairview. He was in what grade were you in? 11th grade, and I was in 10th grade. 11th grade and 10th grade. And we got speeding tickets one night. We were going to Huntsville on a date, and we didn't want to tell our parents. Obviously, we didn't know anything about insurance or anything like that back then.
Oh, plot twist.
Yes. So we pawned everything we had. My clarinet for the band, his PlayStation, anything that we could find of value, he went and pawned it so we could pay those tickets off. Straight up, I had to quit the band because I had no clarinet. I told my mom it got stolen. I think I told her that, didn't I? Yeah, I think I told her it got stolen. So I had to quit the band. And then she didn't find out until I was reading. Actually, she had passed away, so she wasn't at the wedding, obviously. But
I was just about to say right now, and I'm so glad I did.
hashtag Dead Mom's Club.
God.
Me and my brother say that all the time. We were literally sitting there, and he was talking about his mother, not his mother-in-law. She would roll over dead if she heard me say mother-in-law. Her mother-in-law's not dead, but she would be pissed because she doesn't like my brother that much.
She was in her grave. She would, yeah,
she would roll over if she was in her grave.
Yeah.
But they were saying she was coming over to their house, and I looked at it and I said, "Whose mom is coming over to your house?" And Rebecca said, "My mom is." And I looked at my brother and I was like, "Oh yeah, because your mom's dead." And he looked at me and goes, "Wait, your mom's dead?" And I'm like, which is funny because like my mom, if you were on her, like I called her Courtney Love my whole life because I would be like, "I cannot stand you. You're Courtney Love. Like I cannot stand you." Which is if people know about music, that is a horrible thing to call somebody as Courtney Love. And I did all the time. I called her Courtney Love. And mainly because she hated Nirvana. My mom was not a music person. I remember my mom listening to 3 songs my whole life. Delta Dawn was one of them. Some shitty Motley Crue song was another one. And then, what is that other one? It's Coal
Sweet
Miner's
Home
Daughter.
Alabama?
No, Coal Miner's Daughter. Way worse. So, anyways, so yeah, but she was super encouraging of us trying everything. So I think going back as parents, like I think it's good that we do that because it leads back to tying all back into the beginning of our conversation is when they're older, they'll be able to recognize the things that they enjoy that are molding them to who they are. I could tell you today nearly that Ezra, unless he changes in the next 17 years, Ezra will most likely be in some branch of the military. Jamie was in the Army, and he's like, "You're not going to be in the Army." He was like, "You need to go in the Air Force. You need to do something else." So, but he's interested in all that stuff. He loves it. And then, like I said, he didn't want to play basketball because he wants to hunt. We got him a gun. He loves to shoot his gun. So,
yeah, I said my
seeing
boys, they're already trying to, let me go hunt with you, stuff like that. But like when you was talking about like, the whole video game thing, like to me, it makes 100% sense because like when I was growing up, I mean, which I might be calling my parents out, we might have just been that broke, but I mean like I didn't grow up like Wi-Fi, so I know like I had like the PlayStations, the old Nintendo GameCube, stuff like that. When Call of Duty and everything came out, to where you could actually play online with your friends. And I remember I'd always go to school. My friends always talk about it, sharing their stuff so they could play with each other, online. But like I never could, and I always like I never got it, and I never understood, and I always thought it was just what am I doing wrong? I thought my parents were punishing me for it, but I always hated it growing up because it was like always something I missed.
Your mom just didn't want you playing with P Diddy.
Yeah, that's what it was. But I mean, back then that really wasn't that big of a thing, and I think
bro, you didn't go to chat rooms back in the day.
Yeah, because I heard about it, but like
we didn't have Wi-Fi or internet.
Yeah, so we never did. So I never got to play on like my game would work. I'd be able to play the campaign, but but that's it, But I think like that kind of has something to do with like technology now versus like back then. It has to do with like how kids are also more involved in it. Is because in today's time, like you said, a lot of times when we got bored, we just go outside. My parents used to have to ground me and my brother from being outside because we wouldn't come inside. They'd be like, "You're grounded from going outside." Well, what am I supposed to do inside? Can I go play my game? No, you're grounded. What do you want to? What do you want us to? I can't go outside. I can hardly be inside.
And that, sir, is the point of why you shouldn't have done what you did.
Clean.
Yeah, well, that's besides the point, Daniel. But I mean, like you got to think in today's time, like even like where my parents live, where me and my brother, which is 5 seconds down the road, where me and my brother would constantly stay outside. We'd come in from work, saddle horses, and leave. Parents wouldn't. They knew. Look out, horses are gone. They knew we'd be back. No phones, no nothing. Didn't have to work. We could ride our bikes. My little brother stole my dad's.
And it was so much
truck.
simpler.
Went down the road. We come home. Truck was gone. Where's Caleb? He's down the shop at CJ's down there. He didn't want to walk half a mile down the road, so he got my dad's truck and left. It wasn't a big deal. But now, like, I wouldn't send my kids out there to play all day. Because the way people are and stuff like that driving around, being close to the road, I mean...
It's almost like you hate to, and I hate to use this verbiage, but I don't know a better way to say it, but I low-key kind of like miss life when we were poor when I was young.
Yeah.
Like, because Jamie and I grew up all my friends, we were all the same way. Like, our parents busted their tails to get us what we needed. I never went without anything. But
you didn't have anything.
No.
You didn't go without, but you didn't... I mean, you just... You made it.
It's like our kids.
You got some things you wanted,
Yeah.
You got one off of 50 on your Christmas list.
Yeah, but you never, but like our kids don't experience that.
No.
And it's our fault.
And I think me and your dad talked about this when he was here. I think every generation wants better for their kids than what we grew up with.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you do that and you go back 30 years or 40 years and every generation tries to make it easier and better for their kids than what they had, then that's why unfortunately now I think we got a lot of...
We're confused with what better actually is.
Yes.
Yeah. That's that's another thing. Like one of the first things I talked to my psychiatrist about, she's like, "What do you want to feel?" And I was like, "I want to feel normal." She goes, "What is normal? Like, what is normal? What is better? Like, what actually is better?" Because I read an article not too long ago, and it was talking about parents that were like our age, how they're raising their kids so differently from how our parents raised and how our parents raised. My mom, when she passed away, was 53. My dad's 54, and it's almost like that generation of parents were so, like, their parents were like the baby boomers that worked hard, that were put in their 401ks, that paid their houses off at 45 so their kids could have a better life. But that generation is ruined. Like, there's a lot of bad in that generation.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, a lot of addiction issues came out of that, whether that be...
A lot of what?
Addiction issues.
Oh,
yeah.
Addiction issues.
okay. Sorry.
A lot of that came from that.
I was like, okay.
Yes.
There was a couple syllables that stood out in that, and I was...
Yes. So a lot of that came from that, and that's not me just saying that. Like, that comes from, like, different, studies and stuff like that. And it's almost because it's like they babied them so much.
Well, there was... I was watching... I got bored one night, and there was something, I think it was Netflix 80s or something, whatever, and it was talking about latchkey kids.
Yes.
Which was, your parents was working one or two jobs,
Mm-hmm.
it was when stuff like what I work, different hours, funky hours, stuff like, there's plants that you got thirds, you got what, Anyway, so as parents, you were forced to go, do we eat or do I pay for daycare?
Yeah.
So we're going to eat, and you keep up with your key, and you come home, you unlock it, you lock it, and, there's TV dinners and the thing, what. So that's the age that I grew up in, and so you kind of.
One of those, if someone knocks at the door, don't open it.
Yeah, and
You gotta think that
and you learn
it's
to,
not a thing nowadays.
you learn to fend for yourself. You learn to, but yeah, the times are, one of our episodes we talked about the crack lady that was walking up and down in my yard that come to my swimming pool and was like, "Can I borrow your phone?" Yeah, in my yard. So you don't want to
No.
do that. So
Thanks for that, P Diddy.
yeah. So wrapping this up because we've been going for a minute. So to do we'll do it officially.
Find the button.
Yeah, I got the button. So
So you should call this podcast episode "Find the Button, P Diddy."
yeah, find the button. So, your top conspiracy theory. Like, if you had to go through everything that's going through your brain, what would you say would be your most believable in your mind? What do you think is actually the most plausible conspiracy theory? Go. I mean, minus time to think about it.
Yeah. I would have to say for sure Helen Keller. That whole situation's weird.
Wait a minute. What?
The Helen Keller situation. Like, was she actually deaf and blind? I don't trust it.
You haven't heard about this?
I don't trust this.
No, I mean, I knew she was deaf and blind, but I didn't
No.
know there was a conspiracy about it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, this is why this is a segment.
Yeah.
I wish I'd have thought about that with that. I don't know, my Bigfoot one was pretty good, but I wish I'd thought about that for.
So what's the conspiracy about Helen Keller?
That she's a
just
fake.
the fact that she wasn't.
Yeah,
deaf
that
and blind?
basically
She's
it's
fake.
that she's the
Well,
whole.
there is
conspiracy.
there is I used to go to a auto auction in Muscle Shoals, and in the parking lot of that auction was a billboard, one of the big ones, and I'd look up every time I'd go, and it was the same one for like a year, and it was a Muscle Shoals, some kind of music festival that was in honor of or to raise money for something. It was the Helen Keller or whatever.
Yeah.
And I always, because that's the way my brain works, thought that was funny that we're raising money for a deaf blind school by having a musical concert where you're supposed to look and watch and listen.
Yeah.
And it was
It's ironic, isn't it?
I don't, basically that she's the whole conspiracy herself, that was never deaf.
She's faking it, and it's
Yeah.
just crazy.
Yeah. I mean, back then, there's no proof.
I would think, though, my favorite conspiracy theory, this is off the wall, totally random, has nothing probably to do with any of the other ones. Because, everybody talks about their flat earthers and all this other crap. My favorite is that birds are not real.
Yeah.
That birds are spies.
But, I kill them and ate them. So,
They're still spies.
I think there's some planet like birds.
I've never
But that some.
It's a whole thing. Look it up. Birds aren't real.
You haven't seen. Have you?
birds aren't real.com. That's a thing.
Did you think they have T-shirts and everything?
Well, see if it works.
So why is that? Have you seen the video of it's like a robin or something that's sitting in that tree, and every time it opens, it's like an alarm going off.
No, but
It
see, I
sounds-
would believe that.
But it's like not like a car alarm or something, or just like a bird. Like it's like something that's like a old noise,
What are we looking at?
Birdsaren'treal.com.
Birds.
Yeah, it like they're drones, like they're spies.
Yeah. I think birds are. Don't get us wrong. Birds are real. Obviously, like dove.
Turkeys are real. We turkey hunt.
Turkey.
Turkeys are real.
Those.
Pigeons are not real. There's no way.
Pigeons are. But
Because why are the Haitian people eating cats and dogs, but they're not eating the pigeons?
I was just about to say that.
Word.
Look, I'm smelling what you're stepping in.
I'm like, I would
Birds.
So what are we looking at here?
about up there. Birds.
Right hand side.
Yep.
About the movement.
There you go.
This is a whole.
So what is it? How long is
An
this?
ex-CIA agent confirming bird drone.
surveillance.
We all remember where we were when that happened. But what if I told you that something far greater was at play in this very moment? A saga of government corruption so entrenched in our society that to expose it would make Watergate a mere footnote in the pages of history. For the last few years, my team and I have been investigating the biggest crime ever perpetrated on the American people. Since the Eisenhower administration, the U.S. government has been committing genocide on the entire bird population and replacing these birds with sophisticated robot replicas equipped with 5-megapixel cameras and a sophisticated tracking system that can follow your every movement. I know this is horrifying, but please remember, stay calm. It is estimated that by 2001, 90% of the birds that we see in the sky will actually be surveillance robots. We must act now to prevent this from going any further. Join us. Together we can make 1987 the year that we take back our freedom.
There you go. So now we know all the things that's happened tonight, P. Diddy. It's because we've got these birds that are actually not birds. They're stalking everybody down. They're putting the footage everywhere. Yep.
Yeah, so so I will say that there are some conspiracy theories that I don't know that I could get behind. That was probably one of them.
Oh man,
No.
you got to get into it.
You gotta be open-minded,
You
man.
got to be. Yep. Yep.
I am open-minded, but there's some
That's
things
so
like,
much more believable than
was-
Bigfoot.
What was the one that?
Hey man, look, don't be tearing up my personal experience with Bigfoot.
Yeah, that was. Yeah, that was.
Hey, haters gonna hate. I ain't worried about it. I know what I saw.
All right, so your biggest one you would say was what?
It's got to be birds aren't real.
Birds aren't real is your biggest one.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I feel like, in my opinion, that's the one that probably could be true, that could be debunked anytime, but also one day they're going to be like, yeah, bro, this is why this is coming up on your Facebook when you talked about it, blah, blah, blah.
Well, I mean, you gotta think in today's time they got the technology that the moment someone finds out the truth and tries to expose it,
It's in the birds.
gone.
It's in the birds.
yeah,
It's in the birds. It's in the birds.
they see some
Watch
weird
the birds.
stuff.
Have you ever watched the birds during a lightning storm? If they're on the power lines, if a lightning strikes, they just fall. I swear to God, y'all.
Well, if lightning strikes the power lines,
No, if it just lightning strikes in the air, all the birds just. It's because they're not birds.
have you seen it yourself?
Bro, I saw it myself at Joppa Burger in 1998. I'll never forget it. I'll never forget
Hey,
it.
R.I.P. to the Joppa
R.I.P.
Burger.
Joppa Burger, but
Yeah.
you know,
The
and
original.
the original. That's where the
Original.
dang birds were.
The
I'm
OG.
telling you.
Hey, they were slinging some stuff out of the back. Birds are watching, got caught up, and that's why Joppa Burger shut down.
That's it.
The truth's out, ladies and gentlemen. That's probably what happened to the Four-Way Cafe up there.
And a P. Diddy.
And P. Diddy.
So hopefully you had fun.
Oh, yeah.
We did.
Yeah, I had a great time.
It's a vibe here.
Glad that you got to go to a podcast that you didn't have to talk about insurance,
Yep.
except for just a little bit when it came up, and
Yep.
that was.
And
that
didn't
was
have to
just-
travel.
Didn't have to
Didn't
travel.
have to
Traveling
travel.
is fun, though.
Backyard business. Yeah, very
Yep.
true. Sometimes it just,
Yep. So you'll have to come back.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It was fun.
Yeah, you'll have to
Absolutely.
come back.
Yeah.
We can have you as like a regular conspiracy.
look what happened on the. Look what's the next P. Diddy
you
thing.
You can
yeah.
be like my resident celebrity
Investigator.
news / conspiracy
Politics, there you go.
pop culture.
Pop culture.
Pop-
But you have to play pop-up video every time before like I talk.
I could do it.
Bet.
Yeah,
Do it.
I'm down.
Magic Man over here.
You just gotta find the button.
Yeah.
Hey, just
Yeah.
get one special made that goes in the floor. You just tap with your foot.
Oh my God, you should.
So okay, so they have them.
I told you he had. If he doesn't have everything, he's
I've-
found out where to get it
I
from.
saw it.
He saw it on Temu.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's called Stream Deck, and so.
Oh, I have a Stream Deck, and I don't use it.
Oh, do
If
now?
you want it, I will. You need to get
Well,
it so you can try it
That's essentially what this is doing.
with the buttons.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But the Stream Deck though, it lights up, doesn't it?
yeah, and I'm gonna straight up tell you,
Yeah.
they talked me into buying that at an insurance convention
Yeah.
at my CEO. I hope you hear this, Taylor Doll, because I paid a lot of money for that thing. I used it for 2 months.
We'll add him.
Yeah, we need to. So it's really cool though because you can change the logos. So
Mm-hmm.
like if you know what it is, I'm gonna bring it to you, and you because it literally doesn't it sits in my office like in a drawer.
So you're not using it at all?
No, I never use it. Why would I need it? I use 3 websites every day.
Yeah. So that essentially is what the iPad's doing at the moment.
Yeah.
But the Stream Deck is yours like this big.
Yeah, this is big. It's
Yep.
got 16 buttons on it.
Yep. So you could program all 16 of your buttons, and you could just
Yeah,
do what you need to do. So they got them, but they cost money.
yeah. I'm gonna bring you one.
And
I'm gonna hook you up.
yeah, so I've spent. Yeah, I'm done spending.
Now we need birdsaren'treal.com to sponsor this video. Please monetize this.
Yeah, birds.com, birdsnotreal.com.
Johnson & Johnson baby oil.
So I thought I saved it, and that's what I was looking for earlier. But apparently I didn't save it. So all the memes with the P Diddy and the oil and all the other things that they found, there was one that made me giggle today, and it was what was it? Night Glider. It was.
Listen to him giggling.
So it was him. Of course, it was his face superimposed on the Hasselhoff next to Kit.
Oh Lord Jesus!
And I thought I took a picture because I was planning on putting it in tonight, and I forgot because
Spot the video cracked. I have watched it 100 times and I laughed just as hard. But it's like when you're trying to get up the stairs at P Diddy's house, and it says, I think it's off like a Jackass scene or something. But they're like, they've got this just or whatever, whether it's lube or baby oil, whatever, on these nice staircase, and the people are trying to walk up, but they're on their hands and knees, and they're just just bouncing down the steps, and it just labels says when you try to go upstairs at P Diddy's house. Yeah, it cracks me up.
Yeah, so I think when it's all said and done, there'll be some stuff that comes out.
Oh, it's gonna be something. Isn't it something big's gonna be coming out of this, or all of a sudden it's just gonna?
You know where it's coming from?
Oh yeah, yeah. Fuck.
And do you know where it's coming from? Where is it coming from?
I've been more concerned about where they're about to put it.
It's coming from Taylor Swift and the Birds.
Yeah, Taylor Swift and the Birds.
We've called it
Do
here
you
tonight.
think,
We're off the Swifty train.
You think Swifty knows about the birds?
I think she's probably got the Stream Deck to the Birds.
She's got the same. She's watching right now. She's like, "Yep, this one ain't ever making it on Facebook or YouTube or TikTok or
She call up
any
Mark
other platform
Zuckerberg.
we're on."
Hey, Marky
Or
Mark,
anything.
we're gonna censor
Yeah.
this. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. Well, thank you again for coming.
Thanks for letting me come.
absolutely.
Anytime.
Yes,
You got anything else? Are you
No,
done?
I had a great time. It was fun. I really enjoy it.
it's been real. It's been fun.
Do you like the
Been
new
real fun.
decor?
Yeah, the new decor is pimp,
Yeah.
pimping and easy.
I knew the vibe in here. That's why I wore my Grateful Dead shirt.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
you know us.
So I'm thinking about. Well, I'll tell you about that later. So like, comment, share, find us where you find us. We're everywhere. I got a few more things taken care of. So I mean, we're legitimately everywhere.
Yeah, Facebook, Instagram,
Spotify,
TikTok, Spotify. Was the
iHeartRadio.
Apple Podcast deal too?
Yep. And I'll go back in and edit all these little cute little pop-ups after we get
Yeah.
done tonight, and it'll be cool.
Yeah.
Throw that Shazam up there, boys.
Yep. So we'll see y'all next time.
Yep. See you next time.
See ya.
And cut.
Are you supposed to say that, or do you just say that?
I'm not leaving yet, Cliff.
Just out. Did you cut the bottom of my gut out? That's pimp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that?
Yeah, I like that.
I think. Oh, wait, hang on. Are you closer than me? A little bit.
I can shimmy.
A little bit. If you're right.
Buff. I'm sure we can. Whatever.
Well, there's also another reason that yours is just a smidge.
Oh yeah, I'm always I'm always got to be adjusting, get myself comfortable. I can't help it, man.
That's all the boys in my house, isn't it? All the time.
They don't understand.